Okay.
All right, there we go. Hey, Shogun, you just popped in right when I hit the button.
Nice timing.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on? What's going on?
Oh, not much. How about you?
Just hanging in there.
Yep.
Well, Washington, I woke up and seeing frost on the ground outside.
Hmm.
You recently got hit with something of a really bad snowfall out in Michigan, right?
Yeah, well, there's nothing compared to a really. It's nothing compared to an asshole plower who decides, while I'm at work, to plow the parking lot, but not tell anyone to move their cars. So, when I got out to my car, it was it was blocked off by a big wall of snow that I had to dig out.
I thought it was wow. My first guess was going to be that your car was literally buried under a whole fuck ton of snow.
No, I'm not in that part of Michigan.
No, I think that's Western Michigan.
Yeah, the one with the Great Lakes.
They all have Great Lakes.
Yeah,
Michigan is surrounded by them.
yeah, but it's more along the lines of what's closer to the Great Lakes that's going to get hit harder.
True. Like I lived on the west side of Michigan for 12 years. Like the lake effect snow's a real thing, fam. Now, where's that leave Jersey?
We had like a light drizzle of snow. Literally.
Yeah, we just had a light drizzle, and we're going to freeze to death on Thursday. So pray for us.
But I usually walk out in shorts, no matter if it's fucking like -1. You know, it's all right to me. So I think I'll survive. I don't know about Clay here, but you know,
Well, he looks like I've seen what he looks like. Seems like he's built for winter weather.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's a he's like a polar bear.
Excuse me?
Hey, polar bears are cool.
Yeah, but I'm not that.
A lot more, yeah, I know. It's a lot more muscle. Oh.
damn.
Did we just summon the spirit of dead air now?
Yeah, it seems that way.
Okay. Moving along. This is something I wanted to open the show with. Do you know what I am tick that I can buy at Walmart, but I cannot find out in Washington? No matter how hard I've tried. You can get Dunkin' Donuts coffee out at Walmart, but you can't find a Dunkin' Donuts out in Washington.
You can't in Washington. There's no Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm not. In all the time I've been living here, Shogun, haven't found one. Let me see. I'll pull it up. Dunkin' Donuts near me.
All right. So anyway, yeah, like because in New Jersey there is like literally a shit ton of Dunkin' Donuts. Like you go to our town, there's at least what, bro, like 2 or 3 Dunkin' Donuts just by walking.
Yeah, just by walking distance. Wait, is there like a Tim Hortons though near you, Brett?
Off the top of my head, might be, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Because like,
there's a.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say I remember. I was gonna say I remember a Krispy Kreme donut by the Tacoma Mall. Hey, Tank.
Hey, Tank.
Time to get a heart attack again with those.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but yeah, I cannot find a Dunkin' Donuts in Washington. Doesn't exist here. Although we do have Baskin Robbins, which they're partnered with.
Okay.
But you know, Shogun, like how you said, like in or was it Clay? Oh yeah, it was Clay. Yeah, you know how you said like there's a fuck ton of Dunkin' Donuts all over in Jersey. Well, you know what we got a fuck ton of out in Washington. You can guess.
McDonald's.
Try again.
Starbucks.
In-N-Out Burger.
Even Tank knows this. Even Tank knows this one. He doesn't take no for threatening. He's in South Africa.
I don't know.
It's a certain small coffee chain. Nobody important.
Starbucks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jesus.
they're spread everywhere.
Well, do you know?
It's so funny because I'm going on a date on Friday, and we are going to Starbucks, and I hate coffee. I've never drank coffee in my life.
To anybody who hates Starbucks, their expansion in South Africa has stalled because they priced themselves out of the market.
Oh boy.
Well, that's what happens when you. That's what happens when you price yourselves in a market with an unstable currency like yours.
No, it's not even the fact that it's an unstable currency. It's because we've already had quite a few established coffee franchises and some other American companies like Seattle Coffee Company that established themselves year before, who acclimated to how coffee is priced. So our largest coffee, a grande this side, equals about 500 mils. That's a big coffee here. That's around 36 Rand. Starbucks, in all their wisdom, decided to price that coffee at around 10 Rand more, at around 46, with a size above that around 56 Rand. So
what's that roughly?
People are divide by 13.6.
I was terrible at math. I'll just do the conversion.
Use a calculator. You know, you've got one on your computer or your phone.
I can also I can also just do a little Google conversion. 46.
Yeah.
That's $3.38 in dollars.
Yeah,
that's fucking cheap. I've never seen.
Yes,
Starbucks
but you have to understand. You have to understand. They also, because of how most of these American franchises launch, they always launch they open their pilot stores in the most expensive areas you can conceive. So if they launch in Cape Town, it would be V&A Waterfront. If they go to Johannesburg, it would be either in Sandton City or a little bit more further to the north to Pretoria. They'll go to Menlyn Park, or if it's down here in KZN, they'll open up in Umhlanga, more specifically Gateway Mall, which before the most recent Cornubia Mall opened up, Gateway was the largest mall in the Southern Hemisphere.
So Mall of America?
Something like that, I guess.
See, the thing when I say biggest, it's not the fact that they're packed with stores. It's when they designed this motherfucker, they designed it huge. And I mean, you're walking a fucklot to get anywhere.
The thing with Mall of America is it's so big it's got a roller coaster inside it.
It's actually got several roller coasters inside it.
Yeah. The most we had at Gateway was one of those rock climbing walls.
It's so funny,
though. It was actually a lot of fun.
Well, it's so funny, though, how they have Mall of America in Minneapolis. I mean, you'd think it'd probably be in some other state like California or something like that.
Well,
probably.
You gotta give Minneapolis. You gotta
automatically thought something. East Coast or West Coast. I didn't think middle of the country ish.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Shogun. Minnesota's got to have something because you know what's in Minnesota? Bumfuck nothing.
Other than Vikings, you know, like fucking useless ass team.
Speaking of,
this is going to be an interesting year.
Yeah. Speaking of that, who is psyched for the? Is anyone psyched for the Super Bowl? Because now last I heard it's the Rams and the Patriots playing this year.
I have never seen two teams that have been screwed out by the refs in the most important games of the year. So it actually should have been really the Chiefs and the Saints. It should have been them, but they got screwed out by the refs.
You know, I can talk hours about how being screwed out by refs in sport is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
No. More specifically, South African teams in rugby are globally despised by refs. You can go watch any rugby game where one of our teams, the Sharks, the Stormers, the Cheetahs, any one of our teams play any overseas team, if there's an overseas ref, more specifically a French ref or a British ref or a New Zealand or Aussie ref, we will get fucked over like you would not believe. They would be able to do shit like forward passes, high tackles, and the ref would be like, I saw nothing. Yet we put 1 foot out of line. Like, it's not even something that would not even be a serious transgression. Fucking yellow card.
Wow, and here I thought FIFA was corrupt as fuck.
The IRB, International Rugby Board, hates South Africa with a passion. So, but the reason I'm saying interesting year is it's Rugby World Cup 2019. So, a lot of rugby will be coming from Japan. I believe the United States team also made it again this year.
Well, we have a rugby team?
Yes, you do. And last World Cup, they actually played quite well. They did not see their asses. The worst loss I ever saw was Japan versus New Zealand, 1995 World Cup. Japan lost 95-3.
You know, it's so funny.
Something to that effect.
Because I barely watch rugby, but I do know that there was a guy who came from New Zealand. I don't know if he was from the professional rugby team or whatever. His name is Jordan Mailata, I think. And he now plays for the Eagles. And he never played football ever in his life, but he plays offensive line now, and he's pretty good.
He was part of one of their provincial teams.
What's that?
That guy plays for Philly?
Yeah, the Eagles, yeah. Yeah, he's the offensive lineman.
Yeah, I know of him. He played in one of their provincial teams. So rugby has 3 formats. You get rugby sevens, and then you get the 2 15-man formats. Rugby union, which is the global competition that's played everywhere. And then you get what they call rugby league, pretty rugby, essentially. High-intensity game, a lot of tries being scored. Not exactly the type of game that you would actually, base a World Cup around, because it's pretty much just a lot of fast guys running. But it's, like I said, it's pretty rugby. It's made exciting for the consumption of the masses. Rugby union, which is the one that everybody plays World Cup-wise, it's a lot more. There's a lot more rules and everything regarding around it. Very strategic about how you place your kicks and things like that.
Well, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You want to say?
No. I was just saying, like, I'm sure, like, in the union, like, there's, because Jordan Mailata was like 320 pounds, I believe, and he was running and bowling over people, and it sounds like he probably wasn't in that league, the exciting one, because it's probably much more like thinner dudes that are like sprinters.
Yeah, no. I'm actually going to quickly. Let me just find some links here of some of our big.
Tank, didn't you get your nickname playing rugby?
Sorry?
You told me you got your nickname playing rugby.
Yes, I did. My nickname Tank, I got playing rugby in primary school, mainly because I was a gigantic motherfucker else. I stood primary school, probably grade 1, sub A. Even back then, I was a head and shoulders, literally a head and shoulders above everybody else on my team.
So you can play rugby as being a big guy.
Well, yes. So basically, rugby has quite a few positions. So if you're going into the scrum, that's the line of contact where everything else. So that's pretty much where a lot of the set pieces are set up around. So the scrum consists of 8. The tight 8, the front line.
So that's like offensive line. So it's the big dudes, right?
The bruisers, the big dudes.
Yeah,
you get the scrum consists of your 2 props, the tight head and the loose head, and the hooker. Then you get your 2 locks, the 2 flanks, and the 8th man. These guys all can make up the scrum. Then from there on, those are numbers 1 to 8. From there on, you get your back line. These are the smaller guys, but not necessarily too small because they need to have some power to them. But depending on what position you are, a little bit more speed will be more preferable. So you get your scrum half, your fly half, I fucking forget most of the names because I played front row, so I never played back line. But then you get your numbers 12, 13, and 14, and then you get your fullback, the guy in the number 15. This is usually the guy that can kick and run insanely fast. Now, one of the best fullbacks we ever had was a guy by the name of Andre Hubert. Played 1995. That guy was quite good. The number 14, the guy that's assistant back then, was a very scrawny guy by the name of James Small. And he put one of the largest players back then by the name of Jonah Lomu from New Zealand. He actually stopped him. He tackled him. And he's fucking short compared to this guy. Jonah Lomu himself, unfortunately, a very, very legendary player. I think he's still around, but he's suffering from a serious kidney disease. So that's one of the reasons he had to stop playing.
Shit.
On dialysis.
So do you watch football as well? Like, do you watch American football?
I have not tried watching American football.
Do you think you'd like it?
Like I said, I have not tried watching it. So
it's basically rugby, but with modified rules.
That I do know. But one of my favorite types of videos to watch on YouTube.
And that South African potato connection kicked in.
Oh, shit.
He'll be back. And I'm going to, I guess if we can move on from the sports, I'll just say, Brady's walking with a 6th ring. Guarantee it.
We'll see, because, I mean, usually when he has a rematch with a team, he doesn't do that well. Sometimes it's with it could be, I don't know, because he played the Rams before and they won. Like, somehow they should have lost that game. They won 2017, it was like 2002 or something, I think. But it was, I don't know. But the refs screwed it over.
He's getting a 6th ring. He is getting this. I'm calling it. He's getting a 6th ring.
He could be. He very well could be. I don't know. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm off that day. I'm off because I'm about to be. It's actually the day after the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure, right? Am I getting my dates wrong? It's the 10th, right? Is that when the Super Bowl is?
Let me check.
I'm pretty sure.
Super Bowl air date. Super Bowl 2019 date. It's the 3rd.
Oh, it is the 3rd. Oh, yeah. No, I got it wrong then. Because for a second, I thought it was the 10th. Because the day after I turned 21. That's like my birthday. So, that's fun stuff, right?
Clay, you know what your job is to do that day, right?
It's like make sure to remind you guys when the Super Bowl is coming.
No, your job is to take your brother on it and find the coolest bar in town and make sure he leaves shit faced.
Oh well, I can't. Well, okay, we'll call an Uber or whatever.
It's okay, It's okay. I have a bar in the basement. It's okay. That's the coolest bar in town.
Yeah, that works too. I'm guessing you guys got a nice collection.
I wanted to like this. Obviously, in the first time I drank, I was pretty exciting person before 21. I think I still am, but see, Clay doesn't get he doesn't drink. He really doesn't. Not that much. Actually, the last time I saw him drink was when he was 15. So that's the last time.
Yeah, it was 15 when I was like, my aunt and step uncle's wedding.
Oh no, I wouldn't even think about that one. I was thinking about the trip to Bermuda. You drank.
Yeah, I drank a little bit. Yeah, but that was like, I
It was a
wasn't
bucket of Heineken. He's undershadowing it. He fucking drank like a sailor. Okay.
I can't remember that. Okay, maybe I can't remember that because I was so
Damn
shit.
right, he can't remember it.
You got blackout drunk.
He did, and he didn't even know it. He was sitting there. He's like one of those. He's one of those confused drunks that sit there and go, What are you going on?
It's well, actually, yeah. I gotta tell you, this is just between us, bros. But like, what kind of drunk am I again?
You're like a confused drunk. You're always questioning everything. Always sitting there like you. He looks up at the ceiling like there's.
I'm not the mad drunk, right? Like the
No,
pissed
not at all. Not at all.
I'm a goofy drunk. I can remember when I turned 21. That was when my roommate at the time took me out to a Red Robin's, and I had like I think we knocked back a couple beers because like I said, it was my 21st birthday. But the first time I seriously got drunk was when this one night I went out partying with a couple friends. Now, we had started the night off by going to the Red Wing Casino out in Puyallup. I think it was out in Puyallup. We didn't go there to gamble. We went there for the buffet. It was a really awesome buffet. So we raid the buffet, and then we go back to my buddy's place for drinks. Mm-hmm. We're not getting back shit. We're not getting back whiskey. We're not getting back rum. We're not getting back vodka. I get myself super smashed, and somehow the next morning I wake up and I'm not even hungover. And I text my buddy Sam saying, "Dude, I don't have a hangover." And the only thing he has to say in response is, "Bro, Irish livers must be black holes."
Well, you got a lead belly. That's it.
Yeah.
That's really what it's down to. You know? Because I thought
Matt Tank, how about you guys?
Okay, I missed part of that because you broke up a bit. What's the question? What are we talking about?
Well, Shogun's turning 21, so I told Clay his job is to take his brother out to a bar and make sure he gets shit-faced drunk. And they got a bar in their place, and then we were talking about and then I guess as it turned in, it sort of morphed into a conversation about the first time you drank or got really smacked.
The first time I drank was actually at home. I was around 16, and my father gave me one beer.
What's the legal drinking age out in South Africa anyway?
18.
Damn. See, everybody is behind the line.
I don't know. That's something I always think. Like, that's just something I always find quizzical. When you're 18, according to the government, you are mature enough to join the military, but you're not mature enough to drink.
In some states, you can actually smoke at 18 too, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like you're old. It's so funny because like you're old enough. I think it's English law. You're old enough to smoke at 18, but you can't. You gotta wait till you're 21 to actually buy them. I'm like, what is that? Like that makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like fuck. Like why can't? Yeah, I just don't get it at all.
Yeah, in terms of drinking, getting shit-faced, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily say. I mean, it's easy to get shit-faced. It's literally just find the strongest shit you can find and slam that back, and you'll be drunk within 2, 3, 4 shots. I don't know if you still get it. One of the strongest things we normally used to be able to buy out here was a straw rum. Now, the way I could describe the flavor is think rum and raisin ice cream, but it burns all the way down. This is how strong this shit is. It's like 80 proof liquor.
So like moonshine almost.
Yeah, but in rum form.
Everclear. I was about to say Everclear, man.
Now, a funny story on that. They actually, due to legal concerns and the fact that a lot of people actually ended up dead due to drinking too much of this stuff, due to alcohol poisoning. They had to rebrand it and recreate it. Now you get straw 60. Now it's still just strong stuff. Now it's 60 proof, but fuck. Mainly because one of the guys I knew, his cousin went onto his 21st, and they gave him a straight of straw 80, which is around a 500 ml bottle. Now this clever cunt decided to take this and down the thing.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Needless to say that he was on the floor directly afterwards, and they had to take him to the hospital to have his stomach pumped.
Did he go blind?
Like I said, it's easy to get shit-faced and pass out drunk.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Shit. Especially with that thing.
His evening started, and he was already out of the game.
I used to work with a Russian guy who claimed he could drink Everclear straight.
I've heard people that say they could drink Witblitz straight, and yeah, needless to say, he tried that to show off, and the same idea. He ended up on the floor, and we had to end up taking him to the hospital.
By the way, I just want to say,
Witblitz is South African moonshine, for lack of a better term.
I just want to say, just in case you guys are wondering, the proof Everclear has, depending on the alcohol volume, it can go from 60 to 95%.
Oh, so you're basically drinking just about drinking pure alcohol, is what you're saying?
Pretty much. And this Rusky said he could drink that shit straight.
Well, have you ever had moonshine level Russian vodka? It's pretty much on that level.
Raspberry flavored, what's that called? It was.
Man, I'm not talking about flavored. I'm talking about proper Russian vodka that they not the proper stuff, more like the moonshine level stuff. Yeah, you're talking around probably like the straw 80 kind of level. That shit will kill you if you drink it.
Oh, wait, guys, I got some hot news for you.
What?
It's MMA news involving Conor McGregor and Khabib
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, thank you. So, like, Khabib got suspended. This is the funniest thing, right? So, like, Conor started the fight, right?
No, it was Khabib. He started the fight.
Okay, so like, Khabib is suspended for 9 months and fined $500,000, while Connor's suspended for 6 months and only fined $50,000.
Damn right. See, I made a tweet about that thing, how disrespectful Khabib was, and I got like 500 retweets, 700 replies, like a crazy amount. Huh?
It was like, oh, you're fucking wrong. That's not right.
Yeah, no, a bunch of people, and then there was a bunch of people speaking in Russian, like the Suka Bliana, like fuck you, and
maybe you should screencast some of those. I'll send them to Ginger.
Yeah, I gotta find that my tweet, but like it was crazy, and everybody was like, I said that they should take the big precautionary and like have Khabib's crew banned for life because they jumped into the arena and started punching Conor and fighting his crew, and then Khabib should be like suspended for years, and everybody was like, you're wrong, oh, but he throws a metal dolly at a bus, and it's like that's done and over with. He's in jail, he's serving time, like fuck.
Yeah.
He didn't even serve time, but you know what I mean. Like ridiculous.
Yeah. Matt, what about, Matt, do you remember when you first drank / got drunk? Because like Matt's the only one. Matt's been quiet.
No, because I don't really drink that much.
That's respectable though. That's all right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So basically, Clay and Matt are like my little brother. My brother doesn't like drinking. My brother doesn't like drinking.
Well, it's not like just that, but also because there's a line of alcoholics on my mom's side of the family, and I don't want to tempt fate.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Shogun, For your
Yes.
21st, there's just one thing that you have to try to drink. You have to try this.
What's that?
A flaming sambuca.
You better send him the
Flaming sambuca. So you see,
Yes.
like I had cinnamon flavored Fireball before. Actually, it was not too long ago that I had it.
Okay, can I explain?
Yeah, go on.
How do
Okay,
you-
so you
How do you
take
spell that first? How do you spell that? I want to see if I can find the recipe.
no, it's no recipe. I can explain to you exactly how to drink it right now.
Really?
You take a shot of Inferno Sambuca. You know the one that has the sugar crystals forming in the bottle.
Can we even get that in the States?
Okay, so you take a shot of this. You light it on fire
Mm,
because it's got enough alcohol in it. Then you
Oh,
put
hell
it
yeah.
out.
okay.
Then you take it and you pour it into your mouth, light it on fire in your mouth, close your mouth to kill the flames, then swallow.
Oof.
Gnarly.
I'm ready.
Dude, you gotta do that.
I'm ready. I want to do it right now.
Fuck, you gotta Twitch that shit.
There's a couple of videos on YouTube where guys gloriously fail because they forget to put it out in the glass first. The guy literally takes it while it's on fire and tries to pour it into his mouth.
Oh, for
And
fuck-
obviously, because you can guess the rest of the video from there.
oh.
That is gnarly.
But do it while you're still sober. That is my only word of caution.
You
Otherwise,
see, the first
will
time I
end
got
up
drunk,
with second to possibly third-degree burns in the hospital.
mm,
That is how hot that shit gets.
Okay,
Or don't do it at all, preferably.
I don't know. I want to see. I want to Twitch.
I wouldn't recommend it, but let's see if I can find some videos of it
I guess
because
while,
it's the funniest shit ever.
I guess while Tank does that, we'll probably move on to the more comics related shit because that's what we. Because last night I hit up Shogun over Twitter
Mhm.
because Shogun got some news that is not. How would you describe that?
I would say it was kind of just like rewatching Suicide Squad trailer all over again. Just like the level of
yeah.
disappointment and disgust, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the I'm
Birds
trying
of
to remember.
Prey.
Is it like a new Birds of Prey series or a movie?
Okay, before we start
me
though,
guess.
how many people actually how many people have read like a Birds of Prey comic book or whatever?
I haven't.
Well, okay, let me just clear it up.
Sure.
Matt and Brett know my history with comics very well, so the majority, or so shall I rather say, lack thereof.
Mhm.
So the majority of what I know is what I read up after people tell me about something,
Yeah.
or what I've either watched in an animated series or a TV series. Now, I watched the original Birds of Prey TV series, the original one.
Right.
I thought that was quite good.
Yeah.
Was that the one that only lasted like one season?
Sadly, because I wanted to see
Yep.
more. 'Cause I found it interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, I'm just trying to like. I remember that existed. I never got to watch it. Now Tank says it was good. Like, does anyone know why that show got canceled?
I don't even know, to be quite honest.
It was during, from what I remember, it was the time it was released. It was just as reality TV started taking off big. You know, crap like Jerry Springer and everything. So the
Jerry
whole reality TV vibe and all that kind of shit just killed any sort of momentum anybody would have had with some shows. That's my phone. I'll be back now.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay, so yeah,
Jersey Shore. So Jersey Shore killed Birds of Prey. Thanks, guys.
pretty much, yeah.
So we have to be thankful for Jersey Shore at least once for getting rid of a show that may have been bad.
Well, it was all right, but it wasn't like
Amazing.
yeah, exactly. So I guess we'll have to brush up on who is in the Birds of Prey then. We'll have to go with key members. So I guess, do you want me to go through the roster just so we know?
Yeah. Read us up on the roster.
I should really say who's in the movie. We'll talk about who's in the movie, but originally in the Birds of Prey comic books, it's Oracle or Batgirl, Black Canary, the Huntress, Lady Blackhawk, Big Barda. There's like a bunch of other ones like Poison Ivy and Misfit and all that, but they're really like they're really more miscellaneous than they are like key members.
I think I remember an episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold that had the Birds of Prey, and it was Black Canary, Catwoman, and Huntress, I think.
Now that's interesting because Catwoman really isn't in the Birds of Prey. Not that I remember. I just remember that it's definitely Batgirl, Black Canary, and Huntress. Those are like the three big ones. Okay, so we'll go with who's in the movie. I'll say who's acting. You know, we'll do that. So Birds of Prey.
Back.
Was that?
Yes.
Everyone? Okay, so who's acting in it? Who's going to be, you know, heroes, I guess, whoever's in it. So Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn, right? As she was in Suicide Squad. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be Huntress.
Wait, Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim?
I believe so.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm already getting a bad vibe from this.
Journey Smollett Bell, I have no idea who that is Black Canary.
Let me look her up. Who?
Journey Smollett Bell.
I wonder if they picked her up from the CW Arrow series.
Journey Smollett?
Smollett, yeah, SMOL.
I found it. I think I found it. Oh, now I see how it's spelled. Okay. Yeah. She began her career as a child actress in TV sitcoms. On Our Own, Eve's Bayou, Great Debaters, Temptations, Friday Night Lights, True Blood. I'm getting a look at her. This is the chick that's gonna play. This is the chick that is gonna play Black Canary. Wow.
Yeah.
The looks don't bother me. It's the acting chops that are my issue. Yeah.
Look.
You know what bothers me though? This is we got two more after this, or three more actually. Now this girl, this is her first ever. I believe this is like one of her first ever fucking movies that she's ever doing. She did shows before, but this little kid, Ella J. Basco, and she is Cassandra Cain, and like it's just the difference in the comic is just so fucking unfathomable. It's I don't know. She might not be that young.
She doesn't even have a wiki entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Shogun, Cassandra's supposed to. She looked kind of Asian. Like she was Asian, right?
Yeah. No, this girl is Asian, but the way she looks in the trailer is just like at first I was staring at it and I was like, is this supposed to be Cassandra? And I looked and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like this is just no, you know, like I can't. You know, I just cannot see it. And then
she seems young.
Yeah, she's really young, super young.
Wait, does it say what her age is?
I don't know. She did like I even looked on her IMDb and like she has like stuff where she made an appearance in like Grey's Anatomy in like 2013. So I'm like, she must not be that young, but she's young enough.
If you had to guess,
she looks like she's like 15 at max probably.
All right.
All right. We got what else? We got Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. And then the last one is the big fucking kicker. This is the best one. So the villain in it, I don't know if anybody knows who the villain is in this movie, but it's Black Mask.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's fucking crazy.
I know Black Mask.
Yeah, so Ewan McGregor is going to be Black Mask.
Hello there.
Fuck no!
Hello there.
No!
Hey? What?
Time to have the high ground.
Okay, so now Now, like Black Mask. Now you could see the disconnect here, right? It just
Sorry,
I don't know.
Words.
Guys, I think you could pull it off. Because did anyone see Train Spotting?
that's what I was gonna connect it to, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's not a lot very identical movies, you know. Like you got like, I can't. I don't know. Like
no, but see, the thing with Train Spotting is he's playing a fucking recovering drug addict, junkie. And Black Mask, from what I've seen in some of the DC animated films, is much more calculating and smart. Even though he has his ass handed to him, though, but still.
He's very.
I was kind of bringing up Train Spotting just in case anyone is stuck associating him with as Obi-Wan, because it's like he can do other roles. He has range.
Ewan McGregor, I've seen him in quite a few films, and I know he's more than just Obi-Wan. I mean, I've seen Train Spotting. I've watched The Island. Quite a few other films as well. Can't remember where I watched them in. But he also played in Black Hawk Down. He was Grimes, one of those guys there.
And how could you forget? How could you forget the world famous movie "I Love You, Philip Morris"?
And there's also Christopher Robin and Christopher Robin.
But so he's got range, but I don't see him as Black Mask. This could be one of those. I will add the caveat onto it, although I doubt it. This could be one of those Heath Ledger Joker moments.
Yeah.
It could be. It could very well be.
Well, here's the thing, too. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's right. Or it could be just like Michael Keaton as Batman. There's a lot of pushback about that.
Yeah, people forget that.
Well,
Michael
his was like an introduction.
Batman. I remember it a lot more fondly than a lot of people seem to give it credit for.
No, I mean, what do people forget is that, when they first announced Michael Keaton as Batman, people were not exactly down with it at first.
Well, when the movie came out, right, everybody had that big assumption, like, we see Batman as this goofy dude, can't be ever taken seriously, and then Well, that was people who didn't read any of the comics, and then when you got there, the movie people saw, and they're like, "Wow, this guy can be dark. Like this can be really."
Actually,
not just that. It was
yes, Matt.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Brett was on the way of saying it, but it was over the fact that Michael Keaton's more of a comedy actor than a serious actor.
At the time, thing he was known for was Mr. Mom.
Or this could go the opposite direction, and we could end up with the Val Kilmer Batman.
I was gonna say this could go. We could end up with the Jared Leto Joker,
or George Clooney Batman.
George Clooney could have done that. Could have done that role well. It was the script that let him down.
Well, he did say that he played the role of Batman as a gay man.
Oh God!
Yeah.
And considering that was directed by Joel Schumacher, oh my God, that casts the movie in a whole new perspective.
It's all about the love between Batman and Robin.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
Somebody's been reading too much Frederick Wertham.
Oh my goodness. I'm just afraid that how Ewan McGregor's gonna is he gonna is his accent gonna be butchered? Is the thing that I liked about it though is that they're not like Suicide Squad. They went over the top with Enchantress as the enemy, and it was so blown up to now it's where it's just people. It's just back to the way it was kind of. Because sometimes they blow it up I think sometimes when you go in the mystical aspect of a movie, that's when or a show, it gets ruined. Like Like I thought Daredevil season 2 was like a very like weak point in the in like series because it went with like mystical and magical, all that bullshit, and it's just like it didn't work. You know, it didn't really work that well.
I'm gonna get.
If you think that show was bad, watch Arrow season 4. That was bad.
Oh, I mean,
Is that the League of Shadows arc?
Fucking Damien Dark.
Damien Dark, aka let's put a magic super villain with Arrow, a guy who can't even use magic. Like that's perfect.
Well, you want to hear something terrible? A big warning sign for me and Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
The title has parentheses, and it's really titled "Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn."
What? Oh my god!
Yeah, that's the alternate title. I don't know.
oh, you know
My
what?
feelings on
Sorry.
the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn is mixed. My introduction to Harley Quinn was obviously Batman the Animated Series.
I think that was everyone's.
Yeah, that was literally the first introduction of her.
And that is, to me, still to this day, the benchmark of Harley Quinn. Subsequent appearances in shows and video games and things like that was one of her better portrayals, once again, was the Batman Arkham series, the video games.
Yeah.
Good portrayals there again. She was
Well, I would say mainly the first one, and that's
bite
only
size.
I would say it's mainly the first one, and that's only because that she was still being voiced by Arlene Sorkin at that point, and after, like everyone knows that Paul Dini created Harley Quinn with Arlene Sorkin in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the problem with the character right now is she, in my opinion, and I think this is probably going to be echoed by everybody else, she's fine in bite-sized chunks.
Oh,
You know what I think though? I feel like with Harley Quinn, she is it's so milked at this point as to what we've seen her do and stuff like that, and how she acts, and it's just like it every time like she either gets like a new incarnation or something like that, it gets really tiring, honestly.
I would say the biggest problem with Harley Quinn is that pretty much no one really gets her character, because they try to make Harley look like, oh, she's a badass, oh, she's like some kind of anti-hero, blah blah blah, she's this that. When you go back to Batman the Animated Series, it doesn't take a genius to see she is not any of those things. She is a demented fangirl for the Joker, and she is trapped in an abusive relationship. And you are not supposed to think what she does is cool. You are kind of supposed to look. She's basically a cautionary tale for getting trapped in an abusive relationship.
You know what the other thing is too? I noticed one of the best, well, I guess not interpretations, but like continuations of her story is actually in Batman Beyond, when she's old and like she has granddaughters, and they go on a destructive path, and like she is trying to like tell them not to do it, like not to go down that road. And
I was gonna say that is like much better than what they're trying to do with Old Lady Harley, because unfortunately the whole old man, old lady comic line, Marvel and DC are milking the hell out of that too.
Is there anything Marvel isn't milking the hell out of these days?
It's always their big characters. It's always the big characters that everyone knows in the movies. Anybody that doesn't read the comic books, they'll know Batman, they'll know Superman, they'll know like all these, and they don't ever try to branch out, like.
Yeah, it still pissed me off that this reminds me of something recently, is the whole like Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys the Marvel Universe. That shit really pissed me off, because not only is he's kind of a new character basically, and he's already getting hooked into a milked franchise of stuff that we don't need. We don't need another this character destroys the Marvel Universe thing again. And also it seems that Marvel is super desperate to get this comic out, and probably by the end of the day no one's gonna fucking buy it. Like if you seen like the way that they're tweeting it out, it's like yeah, they're so desperate for people to buy the comic.
In Cosmic, correct me if I'm wrong. In Cosmic Ghost Rider a Donny Cates creation?
He is, yes.
Yeah, like we all thought Donnie was gonna write it, but no, it's somebody else. It's this actor no one gives a fuck about. And it's like they're like, oh, but he's important. He's going to help write it. It's like they got 3 or 4 writers working on this comic. You know how desperate they are to try to get this to be good. It's like no one wants it because it's like do something original.
But then that would require them taking risks.
Oh, yeah, that's why I just go with the indie comics at this point.
Which, speaking of which,
with Deathsworn and all that other stuff.
I was going to say, speaking of which, did anyone notice that Jack Irons made Comic Central's Comic of the Week?
Yeah, I saw. Like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
That's well deserved.
Yeah, Cody earned it.
And it's only like $2.99 on Comic Central, so go buy that.
That was a perfect plug there. You know,
you will not regret. Jack Irons is one of those refreshing breaths of fresh air. Yeah, I butchered fucking language there, but anyway, I mean, mainstream comics. Everybody that I've seen reading them complains about how stale and stagnant they've become, and for every one thing that they do right, they do like 7 million things wrong. Yeah. That is why indie comics right now are probably going to be the better way to go, because we've got fresh stories, fresh characters, fresh ideas. Yes, they'll probably retread old ground, the stories that have been told previously, but with a new character and some new nuance and a new writer and art team behind them, you'll probably still read these stories, but you'll see an entirely new perspective on them.
Yeah. While we're on that subject, last night I showed this to Matt. Tank, you might have noticed it too. I came across a Bleeding Fool article. Not Bleeding Cool. This is Bleeding Fool. Totally different thing. Yeah. Let's just say Bleeding Fool is Bleeding Cool on opposite day. That's the short. Does it? Seriously, nobody's. I thought people would laugh at that. I thought everyone likes dunking on Bleeding Cool.
Sorry.
Well,
sorry? Like I know I follow Bleeding Cool, but like they're what do they do again?
Bleeding Cool supposedly is the biggest comic, quote unquote, comics journalism site on the internet, but really, they're fake news as far as comics journalism goes.
Can I just say, I'm just going to say that the Transformers Wiki refers to Rich Johnston as a gossip journalist. So that's the level of journalistic integrity you'll expect from Bleeding Cool.
Yeah. Let's just go with the short version. They're fake news.
He probably interviewed Vox Day because he knew it would make EVS angry.
And he ended up getting fired or demoted.
No, he got demoted. He no longer runs a site.
Oh, God.
It is funny because I have actually told Rich to his face over Twitter that his site is fake news, and he goes on the defensive big time.
It's not fake news. It's for real, bro.
No. It's more like, what do you mean it's fake news?
Does he really have that accent?
He's British, yes.
Oh.
All right, so here's the Bleeding Fool article. Crowdfunded indies more entertaining than Big Two superhero books. Rob Salkowitz at Forbes tells how there's creator-owned projects that are doing better in some ways than the more recognizable corporate-owned superhero comics of the mainstream, and brings up the collapse of specialty stories along with the Big Two themselves. According to the industry site, what the fuck does ICV2 mean? It has a hyperlink. I don't. It's just. It looks like it's an. It looks like a. It looks like a shorthand. ICV. Wow, that's actually what it's called. ICV2. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like some kind of club or something.
It's some kind. I think it's a business site, business news site. I just checked the hyperlink. Okay, according to the industry site ICV2, disclosure, I am a contributor. Comic stores are getting hammered from two directions. First, the sales of the graphic novel categories that comic stores are best at are shrinking across channels. Neither Marvel nor DC have been putting out comics that are capturing the public imagination for the past couple of years. Collecting them into graphic novels isn't making the content any more appealing. As a result, sales of superhero graphic novels are plummeting. Now, when they say graphic novels, I think we know they mean trade paperbacks.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, when they take like a whole arc and smash into one book.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. If the stories aren't appealing to begin with when they first debut in pamphlets, it should be no surprise that people wouldn't find them any different in paperbacks and hardcovers. And if a business perspective matters, why must each and every story be published in two ways rather than just go straight to graphic novel format and save some money? One answer I can suggest is because it would take away their ability to seriously flood the market with company-wide crossovers and events. That's another key cause of modern failure from an artistic viewpoint. It only wrecks organic storytelling and leads to more forms of corruption. That I gotta fucking agree with. Does anyone here have any contrarian opinions that when I say that Marvel and DC's thing with putting out an event every fucking year has gotten old?
Yeah, I mean we've gotten like, let's see, we've gotten Civil War II, which was garbage. I'm pretty sure again, like this year they're getting Character Destroys the Marvel Universe event. Which
dude, just go back the past 5 years. You can name probably every event that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I know for a fact they're if you're talking about ones that need like every bit of the Marvel heroes or DC heroes to beat this character, otherwise the world's gonna go to an end. Like Dark Knight's Metal, you know, with Barbados and like all that, then yeah, like there have been several like it'll end the world type of things or the universe. Like it's been crazy. Like the Infinity War that's it. That was the gateway, and now everybody wants those types of like those moments, you know.
Yeah, here's the thing. Do you know the biggest reason why these things keep? It's not just that they're bad. That is a big thing, yes, no doubt. But honestly, what killed the event comics for me mainly was that they were doing the year, and with enough regularity, it just stops being special. These are events. These are supposed to be these are supposed to be big deals for the universes. And if they're coming out every freaking year, it's just like, okay, why am I supposed to care? Like, why am I supposed to care the Avengers are fighting the X-Men? Why am I supposed to care about Hank Pym creating the Age of Ultron? Why am I supposed to care about... No, it wasn't Hank Pym, it was Wolverine, but you get what I mean. Why am I supposed to care about Age of Ultron? Why am I supposed to care about Civil War II? Why, like... It's just like you're doing these things every year, and they just don't have any impact anymore. It's like now everyone expects them to happen.
I think at this point in time, with the events being so overdone, it's more groundbreaking when they don't have an event going on, when it's just the personal stories of the individual characters.
Yeah, like I agree. Like when literally everyone was going, at least to me, everyone was going nuts when the new Sentry comic was coming out. It's like, oh, we haven't seen Sentry in fucking forever. And then like, well, especially since he made a surprise appearance in Doctor Strange when he needed his help, and then when he came back, and you know, Marvel then decided, hey, you know what? It's like, fuck you guys, we're just gonna do 5 issues, and then you're not gonna see him again. He's just gonna go off into space. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, like that's kind of true though. Even but sometimes even with single characters, like Marvel still finds a way to fuck it up because they just can't do anything right at this point.
because they've become so reliant on these massive crossover events. I think this is well-trodden ground. We've covered this in numerous streams already, but it bears reiterating it. They have become so used to doing only events that I think they've geared their writers to this point to only be able to write these events, which is why when they do the more personal stories of these characters, they usually end up falling flat because there's no earth-shaking or universe-ending stakes for said heroes or villains to participate with. So when it comes down to writing more personal stories, you start ending up with the Dan Slott effect of they don't know how to write a single character. They are all so used to writing ensembles and groups of characters that individual personal stories have become, for lack of a better term, anathema to them.
Yeah, and I think, but it's not just that, it's just that you think back to the stuff like the Infinity Gauntlet, or you think about the stuff like the Infinity Gauntlet, was a pop that what was it? Was the Phalanx Covenant a crossover? It was like that was like a big deal for the X-Men at the time, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of something else? For some reason, the words Phalanx Covenant was in my head. Something, I don't know. I think it had something to do with aliens. Okay, but I mean, like you think back to stuff like the Infinity Gauntlet. You think back to stuff like Civil War. Like, those were big deals.
Yeah, there's always something, especially when everybody ran with the Skrull invasion thing.
Oh,
that was huge. That was fucking
I think Secret Invasion kind of missed the mark a little bit. Yeah, it was that. Like the idea itself was was big. Yeah, just the. But point is, like, the problem is they've done these events with so much regularity, they just don't feel special anymore.
Yeah, especially like that. Like what was I think that was around the same time too. It was what else came out for DC? It was Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? I think that was around the same time too.
I think Crisis on Infinite Earths predates Infinity Gauntlet by like a few years. Let me check. I think Crisis on Infinite Earths was made in the 70s, wasn't it? Anyone remember?
Jesus.
Matt, Tank, you guys remember?
I'm looking it up right now.
I am too.
86.
It's actually 1985 to 1986. It's the mid 80s.
But those that at that point though, that was when like events like that were completely fresh.
Well, that hadn't been done at that time. Actually, that was like one of the. And by the way, Infinity Gauntlet is the early 90s. It was July through December of 91. But with the Crisis on Infinite Earths, like at the time, that hadn't been done. I think like that was like either the first or one of the first of its kind, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, the initial thing, the initial on Infinite Earths was that DC had gotten like their line had gotten a little too cluttered. Like they had too many universes, so they wanted to sort of find a way to condense it, so to make it more and simplify everything. And that's kind of what Crisis on Infinite Earth ended up turning into, was kind of a big reboot, so that they could basically just mash all the different universes they had together. They had into one. But yeah, that was a big deal just because like it was like at least one of the first of its kind.
Yeah, but I think that's another fault that they're making. So how many reboots has DC undergone recently? And for that matter, has Marvel undergone any reboots? It's one of those.
Okay, well, let me think. If you're talking like from Crisis on Infinite Earth onwards, the only two I can come up with is New 52, and then the one where they said, okay, we're going to go back to the stuff the fans actually liked. And now Dan DiDio looks like he's trying to roll back on it again.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I liken that this reboot method, it is the same as you would probably have with people with the overuse of time travel or alternate universes. It gives them another method to become lazy with the writing. Oh, this didn't work. We'll just time travel. Oh, no, sorry, you didn't like this? No, it was an alternate universe. Shit like that. Or, oh, great. No, don't worry. This was just a dream sequence. Lazy ass writing to prevent anything groundbreaking or truly earth-shattering from happening. I mean, I believe any Marvel fan will point towards the One More Day fiasco every single time that gets brought up, but that's besides the point. That's a great example of lazy ass shitty writing. But that's not necessarily because the fans didn't like it. That's because somebody at the writing table, oh, but I don't like that this is happening, so or I don't like the person writing this, so I'll go and fuck it around, stuff like that.
Well,
I'm using it as a rough example. Yeah. Matt will give it a little bit more detail on that one, but for the lack of a better term, what I'm trying to get at is these kinds of writing, time skips, time travel, reboots, alternate universes, while they are great if you want to explore what ifs, but to use them as a crutch when something doesn't go your way is also shitty and lazy.
Yeah. And Matt, what were you going to say?
Oh, well, it's all about the editorial level. The whole thing with One More Day, it was a Joe Quesada story.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on with Marvel and DC, that's all about the editorial decisions.
Now Joe Q is not the editor-in-chief. That's Axel Alonso.
No, that's now CB Close.
Right. Yeah. It went from Joe Quesada to Axel Alonso. Now it's CB Cebulski, and I'm gonna actually say it's kind of they are objectively worse than Joe Quesada.
I think Axel's now at Vertigo.
Yeah. Axel Alonso was worse.
Explains a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, Axel Alonso was
just saying.
I was gonna say Axel Alonso was worse at the job than Joe Quesada was, and is even worse at it.
Sapolsky's not really doing a job. He's just there.
He's filling his seat. He's warming the chair. That's literally all he's doing from what I've seen. Well, warming a chair and stuffing his face.
Yeah. Okay, moving back on to the article. Milton Grape, ICV2 publisher and a longtime industry analyst, further adds that comic stores, which draw most of their customers from adult superhero fans, are missing out on the biggest trend in comics over the last few years. Graphic novels for kids, teens, and young readers. Grape observes that Dave Pilkey's kid-oriented Dogman series has sold over 500,000 copies in the book channel in a single month last year. Did anyone catch that?
Yeah. 500,000 copies.
Yeah.
You all know who Dave Pilkey is. Everyone remembers Captain Underpants. Okay, no one gets to be silent. There's no way. Okay, Tank maybe, but
I'm just going to say
there is no way you guys were growing up. We're going to grade school and not have heard about Captain Underpants.
Oh no, I heard of Captain Underpants
I'm too old
once or twice.
I think I was too old for that.
Remember, speaking of
not in this country during that time.
What were you gonna say, Clay?
It's like, speaking of Captain Underpants, remember the one with, and this is the best I can describe it. Remember, like, one of like the side comics. It was like, I think like one of them was a baby, right? Super diaper baby, and the first villain that he fights is a literal piece of shit.
Yeah, here's something that I want people to point that out. Fucking Dogman sold over 500,000 copies in in a single month last year.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah.
I just read something. The reason why I was silent was I just read something that might cause you to question everything. But Axel Alonso was an editor for Hellblazer between 1994 to 2000.
What the fuck?
Oh, fuck me.
I know, right?
Wait, was that right? Was that during the Garth Ennis run?
I believe so. I'm checking it out right now.
Okay, well, he does that. I'm going to continue reading this. Most comic shop owners, unless they have young kids themselves, have never heard of it or don't consider it comics in a way that would appeal to their existing customers.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. Oh, I fully agree there. If anything, comics aimed more at children have been obscured and marginalized just for the sake of so much adult mishmash laced with jarring violence. Even Brian Michael Bendis' work on Superman isn't something I'd consider suitable for children, and it certainly bore them silly, that's for sure.
I think it all depends on the child, to be honest. Like, some children are really like, I don't know.
Okay, so Garth
Let's
Ennis was 1991 to 1999. Oh wait,
No.
I'm reading the top. It's 1991 to.
Axel Alonso was an editor for Hellblazer during its good years? What the fuck?
Well, I think that's exactly the thing. A lot of these guys that are shitty now, because remember, back then, their politics were probably already internally shitty, but the status quo, the general feeling around what it was back then wasn't conducive to them acting how they actually felt. It's only now, with I mean, I'm not going to rehash the whole history, but it's only now that they can actually project how they actually feel into the books and shit that they do. Hence why Axel Alonso is a absolute fucking asshole on Twitter. Not that I would know anymore because he blocked me. Pretty much majority of pro Marvel has me blocked, and that was due to block bots because I followed diversity in comics.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, to sort of get back to, I think like I don't know, I would have sooner given Super Sons to a kid than I would have Brian Michael Bendis' Superman Shogun.
Yeah.
You want to permanently cause mental harm to a child by giving him a Bendis book? You evil person.
Depends on which Bendis book it is. Is it from his earlier years when he was actually good?
Well,
I'm talking about his recent
like
stuff.
Daredevil.
In that case,
Spider-Man, those were.
No, I know. When
And
you
what's
speak
doing
about,
better?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Tango.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, that's pretty much the par for the course for a lot of these writers, guys like Wade, Bendis, all them. They plateaued, and now they are literally just skirting on former fame, or in this case, infamy, and just they are not doing good work anymore, because what use is there for them to try and do good work? Because they guaranteed a paycheck. They're probably earning more than majority of the other writers working for Marvel. So why should they even attempt to do anything good? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know these guys. I can't speak to their craft. I can't speak to how they actually write. But I do honestly believe that if they put in the efforts and actually try to, they might still be able to produce good books. But the problem is they've created a persona around them that I am shit. Nobody likes me, so why am I going to put the effort in to do something good?
I don't know. I think in Bendis' case, he's just washed up. He's probably just running out the clock till he retires.
I don't know.
Because honestly, I think if he wanted more money, he would just try and break into TV, like Brian Edward Hill is doing.
Well, he is trying to break into TV, and actually, Brian Edward Hill has broken into TV.
I know. It's just, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, Bendis. I think the reason why Bendis went over to DC was over the fact that they are going to give him more TV control over the TV stuff.
That's kind of the thing. And if I think like diversity in comics has made multiple videos addressing this, that so many quote-unquote comic book writers seem to be using comics as a way to break into television and film.
Sadly, that's because it doesn't pay.
But it's not just that. They don't. Well, yeah, I mean, like the pay is shit, but it's just more like they don't really care about the products. They're just seeing it as a means to, oh, this will get me to the career I want.
Yeah.
I mean, for some, it's probably about the money, but for others, it's like they really just want to be working in TV.
Which is why it's rather sad that One More Day was written by J. Michael Straczynski, because he actually enjoys writing comics, and he never did it for the money, because he already had his established career.
Yeah, but one like this whole joke is Sada's fault. I don't think anyone can debate that. Like even. Yeah, like Straczynski's even gone on record saying like there were do it that would have probably gone down a lot better. Like he actually wanted to put in details of the deal, and Quesada just struck him down by saying it's magic. We don't have to explain.
Well, that, and he said that the biggest thing that he really contested was the idea that Peter would make a deal with the devil, since that's not what superheroes do to him. They don't make deals with the devil.
Yeah, I thought
excuse me, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, you see that right there to me also. This deal with the devil, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I mean, where's the negative effect on what the hell he's done? Yes, here you go. Here's everything you want. You won't remember this, but there are no serious negative consequences. That I mean, like, what the fuck? What kind of Lord of the Underworld are we dealing with here?
So you don't like Ghost Rider the Tank?
No, I'm just curious.
Well, you gotta understand, One More Day has so many plot holes in it that you would just like shoot yourself before trying to understand it all. And for me personally, it's like the reason this whole shit started in the first place was because someone was like basically triggered over that Peter's growing up and he's not a teenager anymore. And they're like, no, we're going to do it like this because I like it, Peter, like this. I'm like, fuck you.
Joe Quesada.
Yeah, that's honestly basically, dude. But like, you know, and funny enough, like I said this before, but it's like if you played, I'm pretty sure the developers of the PS4 Spider-Man game, they probably after they were done, they just went to Joe Quesada's house, gave him a free copy, and then after Aunt May died, they just put a big ass middle finger.
Just like, fuck you,
Quesada.
That would have been perfect to give him a copy, a special Joe Quesada.
Like okay, like I agree. Like I don't think you can. I don't think you can argue that One More Day fucked up that trope royally. So how does Ghost Rider do it right?
The
Cosmic Ghost Rider?
No, just Ghost Rider in general.
Ghost Rider? Oh boy.
Ghost Rider. Well, he's still, you know, it's kind of shitty for him because he fights, he regrets his choice, things like that. I mean, come on, you're an immortal, soul-stealing thing. Yeah, obviously, I mean, I'll probably have to read a bit more and go read up on it, but I'm certain that if you go into the nuance of the character, there is negatives to it all.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, like Johnny Blaze has no control over what the writer does when it takes over, right?
Yeah, so therefore, if the writer kills somebody well, not that it would, but inadvertently could happen. But the fact of the matter remains, there is writing, and then there's shitty writing, and then it comes down to where's the negative? That's my only question. Where is the negative? You're dealing with the Marvel Universe version of Lucifer, the devil. Fucking. And you want to tell me that you made a deal that gave you pretty much everything, and the only negative is you don't have your sexy wife anymore? Really?
Yeah, with Johnny. Yeah, here's the thing in Johnny's case. Like, he originally got into that deal so that he could save his dad from cancer.
Yeah.
And well, Mephisto kept his end of the deal, but his dad died in a stunt shortly after.
Yeah, so it was like it wasn't his fault. It was just
Bad luck.
bad circumstances.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was out of his hands.
No. That's the irony. That's the
Just
tragic.
just
Johnny
did not
got
die there.
to save his dad's life, and he ended up dying anyway.
I think the big drawback of One More Day was that Dan Slott was taking over.
True. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny too. At least me and some friends were talking about One More Day, and we're saying like the what ifs, and it's like it reminds me that at least that I know Peter had so many contacts. He could have gotten so many people to help him out regarding the thing with Aunt May, and he just didn't want to do it because again, Quesada and his bullshit.
Yeah, here's a person that has more than enough people to support him through any bouts of negative feelings. Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna make a deal with the devil and get back this one thing. Yeah, great.
I mean, yeah, like we made. Yeah, it's funny. It's like the possibility, right? It's either he could go to his friends for some kind of counseling, or if he wants to be a little bit morbid, he could get some people that do owe him a favor that could bring Aunt May back to life, no problem.
Okay, but yeah, to bring it back to Ghost Rider, like I said, the drawbacks to Johnny's deal is, like I said, he got into it initially to save his dad's life, but he ended up dying anyway from something completely different. And not only that, Johnny's now found his life, has now found that he's now basically a puppet. He doesn't have control over his life anymore.
Yeah. So, see, negative consequences versus the other one. Where is?
Yeah. And fuck, I mean, like in one of the Garth Ennis books, I think it's like an alternate universe because like this has not happened to Johnny. Like Ghost Rider Road to Damnation, Johnny eventually gets dragged to hell in that book. Like that's the whole premise. Johnny's in hell and he's trying to find a way to get out. And so an angel comes by and says, I've got a way you can get out.
Crazy theory. Have you ever watched Drive Angry?
What's Drive Angry?
It's a Nicolas Cage movie where a guy literally escapes from hell to save his daughter and have revenge on the person who killed him in the first place. And the devil's bounty hunter chases after him. Crazy theory. I believe that the script that they use on it, probably not, but now you say Johnny escaped, gets dragged to hell and everything.
Yeah.
This movie is. I recommend you watch it. It was actually quite.
Are you suggesting possible plagiarism, Tank?
Sorry,
but that doesn't make any sense. Like so basically, this like. You guys know Robbie Rodriguez, right? The newer Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Not Robbie. So, it's not Robbie Rodriguez. That's Robbie Rodriguez.
Robbie
Rodriguez. DC That's the DC artist.
Reyes.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes. Rodriguez.
Sorry, Robbie Reyes. So
Rodriguez was the guy who showed his ass to EVS over Twitter.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. Okay, so Robbie Reyes, like his vehicle is like basically the same car as Drive Angry. So do we have to blame Marvel now for saying like, hey, we just took this vehicle, we're gonna do another Ghost Rider with this guy?
You know, it kind of makes me think. You got Road to Damnation kind of as a similar plot to Drive Angry, which has Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is Johnny Blaze in the two Ghost Rider movies.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do.
I wonder, like, what Reyes, when he became Ghost Rider, what his it was like his internet. So I was gonna say, like, I think Reyes percussion, which was like a very cool alternative to like the Ghost Rider thing, was like he has the power, but his uncle, who's a serial killer, is in him. So like that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
Considering.
that is messed up, yo. Okay, but
Sure,
yeah, bringing it back. Okay, keep going.
Oh, sorry, it's like sure he doesn't have like the devil telling him what to do, but at the same time he's got like a serial killer in his head.
He still kind of does when you get right down to it.
Yeah, it's just still and yeah, people ask like, oh, how does he become Ghost Rider then? It's because like of his uncle that's giving him the power.
So yeah. Okay, get back to the article. It's we're gonna start off with where I left off with, and what's doing better in its own way, the indies, some of which are crowdfunded. To make matters worse, one comic publisher that had a blockbuster year in 2018 doesn't distribute to comic stores at all. That would be Kickstarter, the crowdfunding platform that enables creators to raise funds to publish their work independently and sell it directly to supporters. Kickstarter has been a godsend to independent comic creators and small presses for years, but according to UK-based industry analyst Thomas Bidow, I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, some kind of fucking Huguenot name, of Eco Partners, successful comic-based Kickstarters raised $15.3 million in 2018, up from around $12 million each of the last 3 years, and by far the highest amount since platform metrics became available in 2011. That's a 25% jump in key metric year-over-year numbers that any other publisher in the space would kill for. That revenue was generated by 1,456 comic-based projects that got funded through the site, up from 1,281, itself a high watermark in 2017. Comic projects got funded at a nearly 70% success rate, indicating that creators are doing a better job than ever finding their audience and mobilizing fans to support crowdfunded work. While creators often overprint Kickstarter projects and sell extra copies on the open market after supporters have received theirs, there is no easy, well-established method to get Kickstarter projects listed in the previews. The catalog issued by Diamond that retailers use as the basis for their non-refundable pre-orders, and that, oh yeah, that's a big problem right there. Diamond.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this one after this. Diamond is pretty much, from if the latest releases to be believed, they're hurting as much as Marvel and DC, and it's going to come to a head for them sooner rather than later. I'm not an analyst in that sense on finances and everything, but I think 2019 is going to be the big year where Diamond's going to see a massive shrinkage and possibly competitors rising up to take them on, because they'll be in such a weakened state that anybody new starting up will probably be able to offer some sort of quote-unquote resistance to them. Anyways, guys, this connection of mine is fucking around too much. I'm going to leave you now. I shall see you all next week.
All right.
Yep, see you next week.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something to think about, because like does anyone here know just how much of a stranglehold on the market Diamond has?
Yeah, to the point where it's been sued over having a monopoly, and the lawsuit lost because there were other publishers out there.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Diamond has a monopoly on the distribution market. Basically, if you can't get your book through Diamond, it's a more of an uphill battle to sell copies than it already is. It's just like you can still do it. It's doable, but it's like so much more harder than if you can't get through Diamond. And a lot of independent creators can't get into Diamond.
And look at what happened. What's going on with Alterna in Diamond?
Yeah, Peter Simeti's like, oh man, that guy's a fucking workhorse. God knows how he does it all by himself. I think he does it all by himself, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I swore he went over Twitter talking about I was trying to take on more employees.
Reminds me of what was that guy's name? Malin from Graveyard Shift, where he a lot of people came forward and said, "Oh, if I think it was just basically about like indie creators and being thankful to the other creators because without them I wouldn't have been able to pay for this and that and all that, and it felt pretty nice to hear that.
Malin, John Malin, but yeah, but still, it's more like like I said, it's great, but like that just kind of says a lot though that we can't. That if you can't get through Diamond, your book really doesn't have much of a shot unless otherwise, pretty much, how do I put this? Because I can't get through Diamond if I didn't have Wicked, my own book would probably be stuck just being sold in my little corner of Washington at best.
Well, I could put up on Comic Central,
I know. Okay. I want to amend that. If I did not have Wicked, if Comic Central wasn't available, Changing would basically be stuck in my little corner of Washington. Like I couldn't. That's pretty much the reach it would have.
And I think that you'd have Brian's method to work with.
Also true. There's Brian's method. Yeah, Brian's method does work. I forgot about that. But you know what I'm getting at.
Because I know.
Yeah, because of Diamond, Diamond makes it that much harder for indie creators to really find the widest audience possible. And hopefully Tank is right, and they are going to be seeing a massive downturn this year. Okay, so where was I? Blah blah blah. Even Kickstarter titles that get listed in previews tend to get lost in the voluminous back pages of the guide, where retailers have to have sharp eyes and a keen sense of their customer base before they roll the dice on a self-published title. That goes double for expensive deluxe graphic novel projects that do well on Kickstarter, and triple those kinds of projects with subject matter that falls outside the superhero-centric interests of comic store shoppers. Wow, we are kind of screwed, aren't we, Matt? The only complaint I have about how these creator-owned projects are handled as if they actually do it as monthly/weekly pamphlets rather than paperback hardcover formats. That aside, it's clear somebody's having success far more than the mainstreamers are, and while Sulkowitz may not have the guts to acknowledge it, these projects could include Comicsgate supporters, because some of them certainly did take in quite a bit. Richard Meyer and Ethan Van Sciver, for example. And not just on Kickstarter, but other platforms as well, like Indiegogo and Patreon. The market for these crowdfunding sites is pretty wide. It's obviously too late to save the big two from the collapse that's bound to come sooner or later, mainly because Joe Quesada and Dan DiDio still cling to them like leeches. But the independent scene is where the comics of the future are bound to maintain significance unless somebody with more common sense is willing to buy out the big two's publishing arms and make improvements, both artistically and business-wise. And that's the end of the article. But yeah, that one thing was kind of that one little bit about how if you have subject matter that falls outside of superheroes, it's harder for you to break in, and that's unfortunately Matt and me because we went with urban fantasy.
Well,
what, Matt? Thought you were you sounded like you were going somewhere, man. Matt.
Oh, I guess he must have glitched out.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think our base later for out. I know how Rags is doing. Rags isn't a superhero comic.
Yeah, Rags is more like and if people, at least in my opinion, people say, "Oh, it's a typical zombie comic." It is not. It's how can I explain the best of my ability? It's basically more about a woman dealing with her PTSD, with the whole zombie thing being in the background, and also the comedic route of her trying to find clothes as she's like practically naked throughout the comic.
Yep,
pretty much.
It's as well as how Brian puts in the difference of how a veteran like Regina deals with civilians. You remember how she dealt with that one character, Riley, confusing her to be a soldier. But there's a bit of annoyance with that because soldiers are what you call army, and Marines are Marines.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. Maybe maybe the trends are changing. Like people are just kind of getting. I mean, like Marvel and DC kind of saturated the market with capes shit. So maybe the market is looking for something different now. Maybe people are ready to move on.
It's very possible. It's very possible that marketing superhero comics for indies is a short-term investment.
Yeah. I mean, like I can actually see that. Like I can honestly see that being the case. Like that people are that the normie comic fans. They're kind of getting tired of superheroes because like they've been around for like ever, right?
Yep, since the beginning of the 20th century.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or if you want to go, unless you want to go much further, then you're going to also look at mythology.
That is also true, but it's more. But it's not just that. I think it's like the Marvel and DC movies. Like, I think honestly, I mean, like, it's just like you see a new trailer and it's like it's kind of hard for people to get excited. I mean, like people did kind of dig Aquaman, and I am kind of hyped for Shazam, just because it's very different from your typical superhero movie. But there's that key word, different.
I think one of the big things that makes the MCU so successful was that they don't treat the movies like superhero movies. They're given different genres to work in, such as Captain America: The Winter Soldier was a political thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy was a space opera comedy.
But like it's kind of now gone to the point where like all the Marvel movies kind of feel the same.
And that is the Joss Whedon effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I think I could legit see that the market is looking for something new. That's when, because like that's how you keep it thriving. You find something new when tastes are changing.
Yeah, I think the superhero cycle is ending.
Yeah, I mean, superhero comics are obviously not going to go away, but I think their popularity is starting to fade.
Pretty much.
There's certain things like like I feel like different runs on comics are different. Like now, a lot of big superheroes now are actually doing volumes now instead. Kind of like how Hellboy took that route instead of like a weekly comic. Now he did a whole story volume of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. You know, I really like that because like Immortal Hulk is doing that run, and Hulk is a lot more interesting because it's like it's dipping into like, you know, old nostalgia, and it's like, okay, everybody knows like how Bruce deals with the Hulk, but you know, how does he like how long is it for him? How long can he keep this up? And this has been done before, but it's done in such a like different way. Like it's always there's always you know, there's I don't know. Like I do agree though that there is a time where superheroes and stuff like that, it does like just get it's like how many more can we see? You know, how many more can be done, you know, before it just gets to where it's like it's just unwatchable, you know? It's just everything's being reset over and over. So I guess that's when the indie comic steps in and does like something completely different other than superheroes, you know, like Rags and you know, like Tom and Artie I was looking at, you know, that was pretty that comic I was actually looking at, or like I'm like
that's really
kind of
awesome.
excited to see the development of it because it's so different, you know, from all the comics I regularly look at. So Like I guess that's this is probably a big year for indie comics. Hopefully, you know?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Fuck, I mean, like, fuck, even the indie Cape books are actually have something fresh to them. Like, fucking Charger is something cool. Looks like something cool. Like, have you guys caught any of the Wicked streams where Wes was talking about Charger?
Yeah, I have. You know, every now and then.
Clay, you gotta tell Shogun about it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. The best I can remember. So, Charger is basically under the same publisher as Brett's comic, and yeah, spoiler alert, I don't know if my comic will ever go into Wicked Publishing. If it does, then you'll hear the first from this. Okay. So, anyways, I think Charger is it's you know, it's like the teen superhero comic, but it kind of has its differences. I think that wait, Brett, it doesn't take place in like does it take place in a real city or a fictional city?
It's in Toronto.
Oh, okay, so so Charger's a Canadian superhero. Not like Captain Canuck or what was the other guy? Or
Wolverine's Canadian.
Yeah, Wolverine's Canadian, but how could I explain? Like, you take like maybe a teensy bit of the Flash and a little bit of Static Shock and a teensy pinch of Superman, and then you get Charger
and Invincible.
Yeah, and Invincible. You know, and I mean, so far that I've seen of it, it's pretty good. Like, unfortunately, the Indiegogo didn't go successful, but they're still continuing with it. I mean, they could do another one in the future. Yeah, I believe they're gonna try again on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I don't know what Wes's plan is. Has he said anything about it, Matt?
No, he has speculated on another crowdfunder, but anything other than that, don't know. Yeah, okay. I'm assuming that he's now communicating with Troy more often than he was before.
Yeah. Let's just say that this whole thing was a learning experience from Wes, and he does seem to have learned from it, which is the best takeaway from it. That's all I'll say. But Charger, like the main character, Matt, not our Matt. That's Charger's real name. He has a punk rock band, and he plays in, and then he gets superpowers, and he kind of becomes a local celebrity.
Wow. Now that sounds like a good comic.
Yeah, actually, I'll like you to stream that where he gave the pitch. It's actually really good. But I was actually kind of bummed out that Wes did not succeed on the Indiegogo, but he did a lot better than I think people expected him to do. He got like 62% of the funding. That's not bad.
Yeah, because
that can get a lot done, right? I mean,
I did, yeah, because I did get out my support too.
Oh, you did. Well, did you donate or did you donate?
Yeah, like I said before, I donated money, and like I at least got, you know, I think I got like the $10 version, and then I don't know what happened to the money after that. I mean, I don't know if it went back to it or back to me.
How does it?
It went to the campaign.
So wait. So with Indiegogo, you don't have to refund. You don't have to refund backers if the campaign fails.
Well, it's the option that it's on there. You either got fixed, which is you have to get the campaign goal, or you don't get, or flexible, where you get some of the money, but a higher percent. They take out a higher percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think maybe then they went with the flexible option.
Yeah, they did. They did actually.
Yeah.
I can't. I know. I had that in one of my. I'm gonna have to find my. Whoa, not Whiz Kid. I said Wicked. Fuck. There we go. Do you remember? Was it the sixth or the fifth? Was it the sixth or the seventh one where Wes gave his initial pitch?
Uh,
Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Let's see. Well, you got let's see, the seventh one. We just did the seventh one with Canales, so I don't think that's it. I'm gonna go with the sixth one, with number 6, because yeah, after the fifth one is the holiday special. Yeah, it's episode 6. I think that's it. That's when they tried out the new format. All right, I'll link it to you guys right now over Discord.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've seen this one, but you know, thanks for doing it anyways.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like I said, Charger still has like a little bit of freshness to it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that comes from the fact that, I mean, like Wes is clearly very passionate about this. This is like, you can tell this is coming from it. This is coming from his heart.
Well, you know, as people like us, you know, who always try to look at new types of comics and people that you know, like are making making their versions of like superheroes, or like their take on what a character should be. We always try to look for freshness, you know, because we always can't look at like the same Superman but with a different name and a different unit, like outfit, you know. It's so Charger has got to be like, bring something new to the table, you know, that the other superheroes did not, you know. So yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Wes kind of gives the pitch a lot better than I could, honestly. And I could not do it justice. But I'll just say this: if you are not convinced to give Charger a shot based off Wes's pitch, I don't know what else to do.
I mean, yeah, like Wes is really cool guy. Between Wes and Robert, you know, the guy who made Tom and Artie, they got so, at least to me personally, the way that they speak and the way they pitch out their comic, it's like, oh, if they were in front of an audience, people would be clapping their hands off.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. If they were at a panel at a con, that would probably be happening. Because I think because you hear about how they talk about it, and they're genuinely excited about what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like they got a fire lit under their ass or something.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, even me, it's like, and I don't care what my brother says. Like, I wanted to thank him for the years, so it's like, yeah, I did base a villain off of him, and
oh no, it's all right.
Yeah, and
well,
you know,
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about, but you know, I want to keep the name out, but you guys can see that villain on the, you know, my Twitter, not my main Twitter, the other Twitter for Clayman.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, was it the one Danku did?
Yeah, you know, again, it's just like I'm so happy with my friends currently that's like I've commissioned, because they said like every time I put out an idea or a character, they're like, oh my god, I love this character. And Danku was like very nice. Yeah,
I love that guy. He's great.
Yeah. Oh, he's Shogun muted his mic because he's so speechless over my speech.
Like, yeah, no, sorry, I was listening. I had to listen to something. I got like a video thing sent to me.
It's fine. But, I got
yeah. I mean, that was something else. Getting me drawn, but not me. You know,
I sneaked into your room. You had tears welling up in your eyes, and you're like.
No, I wasn't. But it was very nice. It was very thoughtful.
All I can say is, Clay, I can kind of relate.
What your brother?
No, not my brother, but Matt knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say anything, but let's just say you guys will probably know it when you see it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry that this is something I have to keep on. This is hot goss. I have to keep under wraps.
Yeah, I have
There's
to keep under wraps too that Brett will like.
Is this for your comic, or is it?
Yes, it is.
That's why you keep it. Okay.
Yes, it is. And let's just all I'll say is like there's a multitude of reasons I cannot give a lot of information about this one aspect. Biggest one being that I just kind of realized if I just hold on to this, it's just going to be more of a surprise later down the road.
Yeah,
so, you'll know. I won't say anything. So yeah, Matt. Like I said, the only one right now who knows what I'm talking about is Matt.
Yep. It's gonna be really expected when you kill off Maeve at the end of the book.
Wow,
bastard.
Yeah. So, it's like another funny thing I'd love to do. You, Brent, and the others is like so. This more, well, yeah. Talking to Shogun and Brent, like Brent, you know the Revengers, right?
Yeah, I think I'm in that.
Yeah, that little fan team up. So like, I made a joke. This is the Shogun. So, bro, I made a joke. To I think what was it? Brett and Cody. It's like, get those loser Revengers out. Join my team. And I think like what was it? We were talking about it a little bit, and we were just laughing our asses off, imagining what we could do with it. You know, as a fan thing, we can't really do it officially since some of the members are in other publishers, so it's more like a fan club, basically a fan club team.
It's like it's just kind of a goofy thing. It's just basically a goofy meme.
Yeah, it's basically like a goofy made up Avengers team. That's basically how it is. Oh, what was it called? What did I call it?
The Revengers in Thor Ragnarok? Didn't he say the Revengers? Oh, okay. I was thinking like, wasn't that the?
Yeah, that was Thor, Valkyrie, Hulk, and Loki.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, bro, how did you not know that?
I forgot because I forgot basically everything about Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
it's an unforgivable movie.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I only had to see it the one time.
Well, you said it's like a forgettable Thor movie.
Yeah, I forgot basically everything that was in that movie.
Yeah, I did forget about it, but it was still like the best out of the other two, especially 4-2. We will not talk about 4-2.
That's the Dark World, right?
Yeah, the Dark Elves. Yeah.
Oh, fuck! If it hadn't had the Thor name, you could have told me I was watching a Warhammer movie, and I would have believed it.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Also,
God, they feel like such a distant memory now. It's so crazy how long ago Thor, like the Dark World and the first Thor. You know, it just feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Like I said, the indie scene definitely looks like it has a lot of. It's got a lot of potential behind it. I mean, fuck, there's even that new publisher that hit the scene, TKO. They've got a lot of established talent behind them, but they're finding new ways to get books out, too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but there's also another indie publisher. What was it called? Hold on. Science Wizard Comics. Yeah, because I'll admit I'm mainly into that because of this really hilarious comic. Pineapple Pizza Man.
Oh, Josh's thing.
Yeah, and it's like I think I can't remember, but I think I made a joke to Josh that I would tear up the pineapple pizza. My character would tear him up as soon as he sees him. Like I don't know if you guys saw Sentry where he tears Ares in half. Like that's basically how it's gonna be. Or no, maybe it was like my brother's villain's character is gonna do that. Just rip up that pizza.
Jesus. I hate because I fucking hate pineapple pizza.
Wait, do you hate pineapple on pizza?
Yes.
those are two. Those are two things that don't go together. I'm with Shogun on this.
Yeah, I have no idea. Some idiot decided to put something else on pizza. I don't want to say, otherwise we will all get pissed off at the condiment on the pizza. It was probably chocolate.
Oh.
Chocolate.
Pancakes.
Pancake pizza.
Yeah. Oh no.
Why would anyone make that? Why did you make that?
I don't know.
got-
Like they made mini like
Yeah,
they
mini
sent
pancakes on the freaking pizza.
essentially like they took like the little like silver dollar ones and they punched holes in them and put them right on the pizza.
And I'm assuming you're making this with cheese and tomato sauce.
Yep, fuck yeah.
None of this
But
makes
you got to put the syrup on it too.
None of this makes sense.
That's disgusting.
At least with buffalo chicken, they replace it with buffalo sauce. Buffalo chicken pizza is actually pretty good.
Yeah, my brother would probably,
You go
All right. So speaking of which, guys, sorry to cut it off, but I actually have to go to work in a little bit, so
right.
I have to go. All right.
Steve, dude.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll
It
be
was
like-
amazing talking. I love being on this and love talking about everything comics related and stuff. So I hope I get to do it again.
Yeah, you guys always have an open invite on this show.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
All right, Matt, and I'll just keep it going.
All right, see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. See you.
You know,
That was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Now it's just down to you and me.
Yep, the last two on a stream that's been going on for.
Let me check.
Let's see.
Let me check.
Almost 2 hours.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So
Yep.
yeah. You honestly feel like we're. You honestly get that sense that we can pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to have super berries for a while, but
Well, that's true. That's true. We haven't. We're not. Although we could probably maybe we can get in touch with someone to help us out with that.
Oh, no doubt.
Maybe. Yeah, but yeah, it's just. But the whole thing with like how like even like the indie Cape books still have something fresh to them.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's just. I think that's just it. I mean, like, people just like there's fatigue setting in from Marvel and DC. People are ready for something different.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of the reason why. That's kind of the reason why these crowdfunding projects are actually doing as well as they are. People want something new, and if Marvel and DC aren't going to give it to us, someone else will.
Although I have to say that Indiegogo might not be so great because it's become, in a way, I think the whole movement against the big two has really poisoned the waters for Indiegogo, where the normie comic readers are evacuating because it's becoming so politically charged over there over the kinds of comics that are out.
Hmm.
I don't even think it's even on purpose, but they're just evacuating more towards Kickstarter. And let's not forget about the Vox Day lawsuit.
Oh yeah, like that's a whole lot of bad PR you don't need.
Yep. So it's gonna be interesting because not only is it going to make people not want to go with Indiegogo, which ironically there was that whole Comicsgate outrage over how Fox Day's comic was pulled, but that very same outrage is going to cut into what the creators are going to be making, because you saw what happened with Patreon Shogun. Patreon did something really stupid with Shogun, pulled his account, and nobody wants to support Patreon anymore. That's going to be what happens with Indiegogo now because of what they did with Fox Days. And sensationalizing that against a platform that you're putting all of your eggs in, that is really stupid.
Well, then, on that note, how long before Kickstarter has something similar?
Kickstarter already had that with who they had. And the big reason why Kickstarter project will do so well is because while they're just not showing off the things that they want you to see, they're not trying to cancel campaigns or refund anyone's money away from that project because they don't like it. I think it will come soon, sooner rather than later, when you can have Comicsgate creators who decide to swallow their pride, go over to Kickstarter because Indiegogo is dying out for comics. And then that project gets taken down by Kickstarter.
Yeah. It just kind of shows that as effective as these crowdfunders are, they're not a long-term solution.
Yeah, and movements are not good for marketing. Yeah. They are for a short term because you get the FU contributions to whomever they don't like. But in the long run, that outrage is going to die down. And if you're smart with that money, and if you've got enough goodwill with your supporters because you're getting your products out on time, or if it's not on time, you're giving them something extra, like with Ravage. Ben Henderson didn't have to give a free copy of the physical to the backers, but he did as an apology for taking too long to get it out, or being late.
Honestly, it's going to come down more to how well the individual creators relate with their fan bases.
Yeah, I think Henderson's one of those who will.
Yeah, but on that note, still though, as far as getting the money goes, like long term, people are going to have to find a method that is not Kickstarter, like dumping a whole lot of money at once and hoping it pays off. You're gonna have, like, the Patreon model was really good because it built up long term success. That's at least a good model to work off, but something to adapt. The problem with Patreon was a bad company.
Yeah, and honestly, Richard Mayer was able to take the money he made off of Jawbreakers and Ironsides, and he's doing it for long-term production, as he's not going to have the second Jawbreakers comic, crowdfunded.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all like, yeah. Hopefully, a lot of the creators are smart enough to realize that the the Kickstarters and the Indiegogos, they're like only good the first time. You're not gonna be able to you're not gonna get the second book out. Not that same.
Well, you can do it. I've seen comics go up to 7 issues and get them funded. But the thing is, I think that any comic creator who uses Kickstarter or Indiegogo as a crutch they're gonna fall by the wayside.
Well, duh. It's just like you have to realize this thing is only good. This is only good short term. Like this is only good for getting eyes on you initially and getting buzz. That's good. It's good if you're just getting breaking in.
We're doing this. Go on.
It's good if you're just starting out. But like long term, no, it doesn't. It does not work long term because I remember Unranked Chevron did a video showing the diminishing returns on various crowdfunding projects.
Oh yeah, I think we're doing a smart thing for the Mythoverse because we're setting up a platform for us to do our own thing and not be reliant on others, such as web comic sites for previews, or keeping up other avenues. I think that eventually we're going to have to think about the idea of when we're doing our streams or podcasts. That's something we should open up for the site as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're just like I said. Like, honestly, I think us trying to emulate the Rooster Teeth model is going to pay off bigly for us.
Yeah, because they've 15 years and they're hiring a guy like Michael B. Jordan for their show.
Yeah.
They got Michael B. Jordan, Maisie Williams, and David Tennant. And as well as Dakota Fanning. So it's gonna be interesting how we fare.
I guess on that note, you want to call it good?
Yes, sir.
All right then. Thanks for coming by. Matt and I will be back later tonight.
Yep. It's 9 p.m. for me, 6 p.m. for Brett.
All right. See you guys.